Wonderful, wonderful. The time now is 28 minutes past 9 o'clock. Siba, khawuthethe nathi. Talk to us. Talk to us. Ithini?
You know what time it is? It is moments in current affairs. I think let's start here. There's a twist to this Solar 7 story.
Okay.
And because, of course, we are relevant, we are up to date with the current affairs.
Yes.
It's very important that we stay pretty close to this story because that's essentially who we are. So fans are worried, right? They saw a video of TV presenting veteran and kwaito artist Bonkosi, affectionately known as Uzola 7, looking frail recently, and they wanted to know if all was well.
Yeah.
This comes just months after fake reports that declared the singer dead. Since the resurfaced video, public figures have visited Uzola 7, including the likes of DJ Cleo, Moshito Music Conference Chairman Stanley Koza, actor Zola Hasatsi, and recently businesswoman Sean Mamkhize. And that's what we were talking about yesterday.
Yes,
In a social media post, Mamkhize shared how grateful, you know, that she was reminded essentially of her mother's teachings by extending or visiting Uzola.
Yeah.
She says that spending this time with my brother Uzola encourages, and essentially she was encouraging all of us to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Uzola is an unsung hero, she said, who has been a catalyst of changing our society.
Yeah.
But now here's the twist. Let's get to the twist.
Yeah. I want the twist.
Zola's personal assistant, Usiki Kunene, indicated that there have been no millions that have been received from any funder as widely alleged or spread. He continues to receive multiple donations from various Africans who responded to the call since the account number was published under Untamed Communications,
Yes.
the FNB account that was shared all over social media. Siki said the Soweto musician has met with various esteemed members of community who would like to assist him, and they are definitely thankful. She says, to Umamkhize, you are one of a kind, and we hope that you are not discouraged by this incorrect reporting to assist where you can. You have given Uzola love, hope, and joy, and that is a blessing on its own. We hope that these lies are not a consistent effort to discourage good people from helping Uzola 7.
Yeah.
If it is, we request that it be stopped. Let's link to the only truth so that the public is able to follow the truth about their favorite icon. Lena besitha ngayo ke izolo yey asikho civile, but nothing has really been verified in terms of hey ingenile nyani le mali. But I mean, news had indicated that between I think yesterday and today, or over the period of the weekend, izaba khona le mali izabe isuka kwi-Royal AM. However, ke Uzola 7's team has since cleared that the rumors, so to say that, hey man, listen, no, I call 1 million asiyaziyo thina. However, we are definitely grateful for the support that and the love that Umamkhize has given and has shared with Uzola, and also to the public as well, who had responded to the call to assist by donating to the FNB account that was shared across all social media platforms. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Then can I remember? Because I was like, there was no point. We didn't see any point where Umamkhize really gave Uzola a check or anything. So now I was questioning about la million itini and kangi puma Umamkhize la oh, by the way, dimnike million. All we saw was a video, a video yakhe inansik ekwela emotweni kaMamkhize, so I really questioned it. So now iyavakala, okay, they really Uqenqe.
I mean, listen, we are going to stay on this. We are going to stay on this and give you the latest updates, with all its twists and turns and curves.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's essentially what we have a responsibility to do, to keep the society informed,
Yeah.
even in these twists. So. So ngaske niyazi, ladies and gentlemen, that i-1 million le bekuthiwa izawusuka eRoyal AM ayifikanga, and ayaziwa loo nto
Yeah.
yiTeam Kazola. Otherwise, you know, the public is still encouraged, those who still feel the need to help this icon to contribute to the banking details that have been shared. There's got Untamed Communications ke mhlambi umntu confused ke, because bezininzi ke nezinye bank accounts ebezisherishwa, but ke ithi this specific account belongs to Untamed Communications.
Yeah.
So those who are still, you know, who are still keen to help, please guys, go ahead. Yeah. Moving right along. Hey, Kulula/BA, an immediate risk to passengers. We are not confident that they are safe. Comair has cancelled all its Kulula.com and British Airways flights scheduled for today, Tuesday. The immediate suspension of its operating license by the Civil Aviation Authority, CAA, remains in place. The company failed to convince the regulator that it had attended to the safety concerns it uncovered during an investigation into a string of mishaps.
Hey.
They have attracted 3 level 1 findings, posing an immediate risk to passengers. We do not have confidence that the next flight will end in a safe landing. Pindiwe Pindigwebo, executive for corporate services, South African Civil Aviation Authority, on the 10th of February, a Kulula flight from Lanseria to Cape Town experienced an engine failure. On the 18th of February, a British Airways flight from Cape Town to King Shaka experienced depressurization. And another one on the 20th. So close to each other. Pindiwe Pindi, the executive of corporate services, also said, we just had a meeting with them, and if everything goes according to plan, they can be back in the air tomorrow. Pindiwe also added that only every 3 or 4 years do we have to take such harsh measures to avert catastrophic event. There must be a reason if we pay so much attention to you, she said to those respective airlines. I mean, just a week ago, 2 weeks ago, we were talking, I think ile kanye yaselenseria, we were raising le Kulula flight that experienced the engine failure. Yalandelwa shortly British Airways isuke Kapa siya King Shaka, and on the 20th another one. So I'm glad, I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy that this decision was taken. Some wished, some might have said, listen, after the second time it happened, we could have just said, let's end it. Let's, but obviously there are precautions and there's processes that need to be followed. As executive, corporate services, Usispindi, had indicated that, listen, if we have to, take such harsh measures where we essentially stop in terms of flights, this happens only like 3 or 4 years, I don't define but we would hate for there to be a situation where and lives are lost before we take such a decision to say, okay, Kulula, British Airways, maske sizole guys, ngesicekishe into yobana kwenzeka ntoni. Ewe zininzi izinto, zininzi ezi findings ziyavela, but I think maybe we just need to take a look a little bit closer. Listen, you think about abantu who have fears of flying, amazincamayo, kukho abantu aboyikayo that literally have a phobia, but because of obviously the convenience that comes with flights, umuntu azincame, and you wonder into yobana thiza, hey, kwezo flights zi-3 aziba umuntu abakhona abantu abathe jonga soze ndiphinde kwa uyithi gibela into edibene nebhanoyi. Understand? It's a tough one.
It's a tough one because nam ndicingela mna, you know that I am scared of heights. Nje kwa mna into yokhwela ibhaloni nje, it's a mission for me. So to hear izinto ezinje, I think
uzawuthini ke ngoku xa usiya overseas, mhlawumbi umzekelo, mhlawumbi kunothiwa hey hayi aya nansi into i-opportunity and ke ngoku ayikho enye indlela.
sleeping pills
Funeke-
umuntu uyakwazi uzela.
Ncamisile.
Ewe kaloku umuntu uyakwazi uzela eba.
Hey, andikho sure mntasekhaya iyaxhomekeka nele flight yakho ngabani ixesha how long it's going to be. Sleeping pills usually ziyawenza umsebenzi wayo.
Yeah.
Moving right along, Central, we cannot end without, you know, talking about what is happening in Ukraine or between Ukraine and
We
Russia.
have to.
So we have to keep our listeners and our viewers updated,
Mm.
right? So Ukraine demands an immediate ceasefire.
Yeah.
Oh, a fourth round of Ukraine-Russia talks on a technical pause until Tuesday. Refugee exodus reaches 2.8 million.
Mm.
Yeah. Zelensky says Kiev's negotiators are pushing for direct talks with Putin.
Mm.
Ukraine's army expects fresh attacks from Russian wars.
Mm.
So isaqhuba lento aya.
Iqhuba.
It's ongoing. More lives are being lost. Ukrainian
Yes.
officials to try and evacuate more citizens through corridors. Russia suspends grain exports to several neighboring nations. Russian authorities were halting grain exports to countries of Eurasian Economic Union,
Mm.
which includes Belarus, Armenia, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan, in addition to Russia itself. The Russian government was also temporarily stopping the exports of white sugar and raw sugar to countries outside the bloc.
Mm.
The move comes amid the fears that the war in Ukraine would disrupt the food supply in Europe inevitably. Russian officials said the suspension on grain would stay in place until the end of June, while restrictions on exporting sugar would last until the end of August this year.
Yeah.
My goodness.
My
So far,
goodness.
over 4,000 civilians were transported away from the fighting on Monday, said Deputy Prime Minister
Yeah.
Irania Vereshchuk. She added that 7 out of 10 agreed humanitarian corridors were used. Ukraine and Russia have repeatedly traded blame for sabotaging agreed evacuation
Mm.
corridors. So sivumelene into yobana okay, nanti evacuation sisebenzisa lena sisebenzise lena,
Yeah.
but then kwathina we sabotage each other.
Ibuhlungu man le nto. This thing is really heartbreaking because
Mm.
lives zabantu, like they are taken away. Innocent people. So it really breaks my heart. It
Yeah.
really, really, really breaks my heart.
Man. Yakuba. The World Bank also approves more money for the
Mm.
Ukraine. The World Bank said it was making nearly $200 million or
Mm.
183 euros in additional and reprogramming financing to bolster Ukraine's social services for vulnerable people. I mean, yeah, of course, surely. Listen, just looking at when they are planning to lift these uplift this limitation when it comes to grain and the disturbance, of course, in terms of food supply. We're talking end of June. We're talking until August.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it maybe it's a decision that was taken, and not necessarily because we hope that or we foresee the war prolonging for this long.
Yeah.
But perhaps it's a matter of listen. Even if, for instance, a ceasefire is declared,
Yeah.
it's going to take some time to recover
It is.
everything.
It is.
Okay, so just to end it off, Uta Limpofu out of the JSC, after Advocates for Transformation begins search for his replacement. Or Advocate Dalimpofu's term on the Judicial Service Commission has come to an end.
Mm.
Mpofu's term ended last year, but he was allowed to continue to keep the continuity and not to disrupt the proceedings of the JSC. As we know, okay, we have since there's since been an announcement of the new Chief Justice as well as the Deputy Chief Justice. Advocates for Transformation says that it was in process of electing Utali Mpofu's successor after his term as commissioner on the JSC. It has since come to an end. Although Mpofu's term ended last year, AFT chairperson Umayran Durance told News 24 that it was important to keep the continuity and not to disrupt the proceedings of the JSC and remove him much earlier because of the importance of the Chief Justice interviews.
Yeah.
According to a statement released by Juris, commissioners serve a 2-year term unless they are re-elected. In 2017, Mpofu was elected to serve a term on the JSC. In 2019, he was re-elected for a second term. So the end of Mpofu's stint on the JSC comes after a controversial lawyer was roundedly criticized by civil society at the Pretoria Society of Advocates for his conduct during the Chief Justice interviews last month.
Yo.
During Judge Mandi Samaya's interview, Mpofu said that he and the judge had once spent a night together studying. He then clarified. McLuhan, chairperson of Mark, chairperson of the Pretoria Society of Advocates, described Mpofu's conduct as sexist and condescending. Commenting on Mpofu asking Judge Dunstan Mlambo about the allegations of sexual harassment, Leathen wrote that Mpofu descended into a character assassination where the judge president was, without prior warning, confronted with the allegation of a rumor that he was guilty of sexual harassment of a female aspiring acting judges. So maybe it's not such a bad idea that Dali Mpofu, advocate Dali Mpofu rather, that his term has since come to an end.
Yeah.
And I think that's it for now. Otherwise, for the latest, we will continue to update you throughout the show. Of course, we are at the pulse of what is going on in our society, and we wouldn't be doing any justice if we do not keep our viewers and our listeners updated in terms of what is going on in the world. Because we cannot run away from the fact that as much as ingaphe Russia, ingaphe Ukraine, ingaphe India, ingaphe Kenya, one way or the other, it affects us as South Africans. So we have a responsibility to keep ourselves, but we are here for that, to keep you updated in terms of what is going on in and around our wonderful world.
Amazing. That was amazing. The time now is 9:45. It's the 50th. Let me say it right. The 50th of March 2022. That was amazing. Siyabulela ke baphulaphuli. We're gonna keep, coming with current affairs. Hey, let's have another song.
We are extraterrestrial. We are KNR.